بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي ونسلم على رسوله الكريم أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. So we've just had a subject change for the last 2 days, so we'll just go back to the topic which we were covering, and that was regarding such ahadith where the benefits and where scenarios of death were explained. So now the next hadith, this is in regards to the glad tidings and the respect and the honor a believer has at the time of death. So عن البراء بن عازب رضي الله تعالى عنه أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال إن العبد المؤمن إذا كان في انقطاع من الدنيا وإقبال من الآخرة نزل إليه ملائكة من السماء بيض الوجوه. This is a long narration, and the narrator Bara ibn Azib radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he mentions that we left with our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam to attend the janazah of an ansar, of a person of Medina who had passed away. So we reached the grave, and once the grave was dug and it was shaped, then mentions that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam had sat down, and the Sahaba radiallahu anhu mentions that we also sat around the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam كأن على رؤوسنا الطير, and we sat in such a manner that it was like there were birds on top of our heads, meaning to explain that we sat with such devotion and attention. And our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said to the companions that استعيذوا بالله من عذاب القبر مرتين أو ثلاثة. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, seek protection in Allah Ta'ala from the punishment of the grave. Our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said this 2 or 3 times. And then our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned that in the Abd al-Mu'mina, that a believer, once he's on the verge of leaving the world, or he's in the state of leaving the world, and he's approaching the hereafter, then angels from the sky come to him, and the angels, their faces are white, and they shine like the sun. معهم أكفان من أكفان الجنة وحنوط من حنوط الجنة. And they have a coffin with them. A coffin meaning the shrouding which a deceased person is shrouded with. So they have a coffin of Jannah, a coffin of paradise with them, and they have the fragrance of Jannah with them. حتى يجلسوا منه مض البصر. And they seat themselves at a distance, and the distance is basically as far as the eyes can see. So they'll come, and then when a person's approaching death, they'll come, and then they'll wait, and they'll seat themselves at such a distance which is as far as the eyes can see. So they'll be waiting there. Waiting for the ruh, waiting for the soul to leave the body. So this is one group of angels that they'll be awaiting for the soul to come out. And then ثم يجيء ملك الموت, then the angel of death will come. So the angel of death, he'll come, يجلس عند رأسه, and he'll sit by the head side of the person who's about to pass away. So we've got the group of angels who are waiting for the soul to come out, and they're waiting in a distance. And then we have the angel of death. He'll come and he'll sit by the head side of the person who's about to pass away. فيقول أيتها النفس المطمئنة اخرجي إلى مغفرة من الله ورضوان. So يا أيتها النفس المطمئنة, meaning oh soul who was content, meaning oh soul who was content with the commands of Allah Ta'ala, oh that soul who was happy and pleased with the commands of Allah Ta'ala. Ukhruji, come out towards forgiveness and mercy of Allah Ta'ala. So this is how the angel of death will approach, you can say, a good person, a believer. So the statement is a sign of a person being given glad tidings that, they've avoided the punishment of Allah Ta'ala, and that they've acquired this perfect reward from Allah Ta'ala whilst they've spent their time in the world. Allah Ta'ala says, Irji'i, meaning return back to your Lord. Radiyah, return back to your Lord being pleased. Maradiyah, and so one thing is you being pleased, and the other is pleasing Allah Ta'ala. So return back to your Lord whilst you are pleased, whilst you are happy, and whilst you have pleased and made Allah Ta'ala happy. So it's obvious that a person who's pleased with the commands of Allah Ta'ala, and a person who follows the injunctions of Allah Ta'ala, this is a sign that Allah Ta'ala is pleased with such a person. And where will such a soul return to? Jannah, towards paradise. So the hadith is very long. We'll stop there, inshallah ta'ala, and we'll continue from here tomorrow, inshallah ta'ala. Allah ta'ala gives a tawfiq to benefit, inshallah. Subhanallahi wa bihamdi, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.